We have the power! I am Andy Signor, and I'm so excited because some news dropped today on Sunday at PowerCon in Anaheim, California. The one and only Kevin Smith, who I just love dearly, he has just announced that Netflix and Kevin, they're rebooting. Well, not rebooting. They're continuing the saga of Masters of the Universe with Masters of the Universe Revelation. This is fantastic. Kevin Smith, by the power of Grayskull, I have to shower. No, I mean I have the flower. He's doing a Skeletor there. One more try. I have the power. Thank you, Mattel and Netflix, for letting me play in your universe. I promise this will not be a stink or I have him. In case you didn't think I was a fan, I have them all. In fact, I should go. I think I did. Yeah. Look, I have everybody back here. I'm gonna prove my fandom here by showing you. Oh, look, yay, they're all here, all the crazy ones. But my point is, I'm a nerd. I'm excited. I have I just literally was gonna do a story, and then I got distracted because I opened the box and started to play with everybody, like many faces. Look at this guy. He turns his face. Like, go here. I'm a kid again, dude. I loved these toys as a kid, and the reality is He-Man was born out of toys. If you guys didn't watch The Toys That Made Us, fascinating documentary series about the toys that we grew up with as kids, and these were characters that literally they were just trying to figure out how to make Mattel was trying to sell toys, and these brilliant people came up with this idea of let's do He-Man, sort of gladiator style, and then they just made these awesome figures, battle armor, etc., etc. I mean, it was just always fun. There was always something special about these figures. I mean, look, Mecha-Neck, right? Look at them. Bloop, bloop, bloop. When you're a kid, you got these big, strong figures. They wanted them to be strong, and they wanted them to have like cool little different things, and you would just collect them all. And I remember specifically, I mean, I did. I have all the old comic books too. Oh man, I wish I could get on this. This is so fun. Look at this. They're all there. They all remind me. Because I forgot I was going to do a little trivia with you. Who are these characters? But anyway, I'm nerding out because I love Masters of the Universe. As a kid, this was my thing. I got the whole crew here. I got Man-at-Arms. I got He-Man. I got Tila. They're all on Cringer. I lost his Battle Cat armor because I was a bad kid as a collectorist. I always chewed or broke them, and it sucks now. But at least they're worn. They were played with. These weren't in boxes. These were played with because I was legit a fan. So I just loved He-Man as a kid. And the cartoon was something I grew up on. And I remember it. I don't remember it as much as clearly Kevin and others do. I don't remember where it left off. I went and did some research to try and remember, well, where did it go off and how was this continued? Because the interesting fact here is that this is a continuation of the series. So here, let's get to this. There's also a little bit of a flack here because they're calling it anime, and it's not really anime. He's American. The term anime is being very loosely used here and probably incorrectly. But here we go. Let's read the article. Kevin Smith surprised audiences at Sunday's PowerCon, announcing a new anime He-Man series for Netflix. The new series, titled Master of the Universe Revelation, will take place in the Mattel toy-inspired world and will focus on some of the unresolved storylines of the classic 80s show. Smith will serve as a showrunner and executive producer. I am Eternia-ly grateful for Mattel and Netflix for entrusting me with not only the secrets of Grayskull, but also their entire universe, Smith said. In Revelation, we pick up right where the classic era left off to tell an epic tale, what may be the final battle between He-Man and Skeletor. Brought to life with the most metal character designs Powerhouse Animation can contain in the frame. This is the Masters of the Universe story you always wanted to see as a kid. It's being overseen by Mattel and all these amazing, talented people. Mark Bernard from his Fat Man Beyond podcast, etc. This is fantastic. Masters of the Universe has been a cultural phenomenon for generations, inspiring fans to discover their own power within. Fans of the franchise have been waiting for the continuation of these characters, and Kevin Smith, as a master superfan himself, is the perfect champion and partner to expand the canon through dynamic animated series on Netflix. So this is it. I mean, he announced it. The poster is sick. I do have to say, I love this. I mean, that is just as metal as it gets. And so I had to go through and remember, like, where did this show end? And I don't really remember. Even more, I know it was like the reptilian race. They were leading up to, I mean, Skeletor was always my guy. Look how worn he is. I just chewed his face. Ugh. But again, played with. But I remember there was the reptilian people, and there was all these reptilian characters. I had to go back and remember their specific character names. But they were all being introduced later in the series, and it was all sort of leading up to King Hiss, which was used in the later Master of the Universe series. But I can't find some of the rubber bands on these figures. No, but he was cool because you took them apart and but he was never shown. Instead, it was Cobra. What was his name? Cobra Khan or something, I think was his name. I'm trying to find. I had a list of the snake people here, but they became sort of the new toy line and bad guys that were coming through the series. And so that was what I always enjoyed about. Oh, here they go. It was Cobra Khan. I was right. And there was Rattler and Tongue Lasher, King Hiss. This was like sort of the crew that was accruing as the show was nearing its end. And it ended with an episode. The final episode, which I rewatched, was with Cobra Khan, and they give a fascinating lesson at the end. Let's go. This is the last thing that the series did, and I thought, let's watch it together because it was a fitting moral lesson that I can relate to.
Today we learned the importance of making the right decisions. When Cobra Khan lied about He-Man, King Pythos believed him at first because Cobra Khan was one of his people. But later he learned that trusting Cobra Khan was a big mistake. So when you have to make a decision about something, don't just jump at the first or the easiest answer. Think it through. Look at both sides and then decide. That way, whatever decisions you make will have a better chance of being the correct ones. See you next time.
Man-at-Arms, you are woke as ever. Could that be more relevant in today's day and age? Take advantage of learning both sides before you jump to conclusions. And you wonder why I love the show. Thank you, Man-at-Arms. Beautiful message. And that was what the show was. Just like G.I. Joe, they always had to put this message at the end. But the stories did give you something to learn from. And the story was there. And it was a lot of repeating frames and fun, silly craziness. And Prince Adam, man, he was always annoying. But you cared for him. And then he finally would turn into He-Man. You rooted for him. And then he'd win the game against Skeletor. My favorite here was always the Beastman. Here we go. Where is he? I just lost him. He's here. Oh, here he is. I mean, come on. The rivalry between the two of these, it was just fantastic. He just always wanted to impress him. They borrowed a lot of that in like Shrang and Shredder. Krang and Shredder parlayed a lot of this sort of the villain duo. But man, they were fantastic. I was always a fan of this duo. Anyway, long story short, I'm so excited for this show. There was a press release that sort of talks about the synopsis of this. Sorry, I'm just all over the place because I'm excited. But they did say that a radical return to Eternia. Revelation is a direct sequel series of the classic Hero Master Universe, featuring fan favorites He-Man, Orko. Yes! I lost his hat, but he was my favorite. Orko, Cringer, Man-at-Arms. The story pits our heroic warriors and guardians at Castle Grayskull against Skeletor, Evil Lyn. Oh, I have her too. She's here. Where did I put Evil Lyn? All these amazing characters. Come on, where'd she go? Oh, here she is. Evil Lyn, yes! Beastman, who I just had up, my favorite. Beastman, the vile legions of Snake Mountain. But after a ferocious final battle, forever fractures Eternia. It's up to Teela. She's here too. Teela to solve the mystery of the missing sword of power in a race against time to prevent the end of the universe. Her journey will uncover the secrets of Grayskull at last. This is the epic He-Man Masters of the Universe saga fans have waited 35 years to see. God, I'm old. But that means I was like 5 when this came out, when I first started. That's how we do in this. So good on you, Kevin, man. What an awesome opportunity. This is so fun. I mean, I was such a fan. I got into even the She-Ra villain showed up once in a while, Hordak and his crew. I loved Leech because they did this thing where every toy they wouldn't just make a toy out of the mold. Once it started getting popular, they would like this one you'd suck down and you could stick Leech on glass, and then you have all these suction cups, and it just made playing so much more fun. He-Man was like no joke because I really do think it helped create me as a filmmaker, creative type person because I would be creating these little scenes with all these guys. I have these like old stop motion videos that my brother helped me make where I would just try and make all these characters, move around, and they would give them always interesting, different actions to play with. I don't really believe they make toys like this anymore. They used to make really fun, collectible. You couldn't wait for the next round of characters, heroes, villains, etc. Come on. They had the Rock people. Well, these guys, these names were ridiculous. Stone Door, I think, and Rockor or something. Rocka. But anyway, like early day Transformers, they would come out. Do you remember these guys? I want to do a quick quiz to you. So clearly I'm excited, but let's end this episode by going through my toy collection. Here we go. Oh, man. You remember him? You guys remember him? Trapjaw? Yes. And you could add on little pieces there. What was interesting is this was always a trick with a lot of characters, but they would try and steal a lot of molds. You can tell Tila and Evil Lyn are the same mold, just a different paint job, and then they put a new head on and some other. But even like the belt is the same. Everything's the same. It's just painted differently, and they made a new head for her. But awesome that they made 2 female characters. They also made the sorceress, who I just showed you, and that was, a good time of the day because this was traditionally more of a boy show. But Clawful, remember him? Yeah, of course you just got to make a lobster guy with a lobster claw. And Stinkor, as Kevin made that joke, he did stink like a skunk when you bought him. I lost his armor. Fisto, I think it was Fisto or Fist, boom, boom. But that would always be a simple action that a lot of figures would do. I think this was Cyclops. But he was so cool because I loved him. You could spin him. There it is. I don't want to break him. But yeah, woo! I loved stuff like that. They'd always create some new awesome thing with it that would make it even better. And then Spike-Or, just this doesn't have the spring like it used to, but he was like a crazy Spike, a lot of texture. But just a fun, completely different character as you would play. Mossman, oh dude. Mossman is the best, and I used to play him and hide him in the grass when I would play. Buzz-Off, I mean, come on, we got everybody here. What is this? Two-Face, I think. Anybody beat me? I'm trying to do my best, He-Man. I showed you many faces. He was just awesome. You could play whoever you want him to be. I could do this all day, but I'm not gonna because I know you guys wanted to. But it's just what a wonderful time to be a kid where you would buy these figures. I get so frustrated with the Avengers figures now. They're always changing the size. You can't build the whole collection. You want to just build the collection so you can actually have these exciting new things. The only other thing that I remember doing this as well, and it was the same sort of Mattel or Playmates, was it? Anyway, same creators behind it, was Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles would do a similar vibe where you could collect all the figures. Star Wars starts to do it now based off the movies, but I love when you can create the whole series and have your role. They did it with The Simpsons back there. Playmates did an amazing run. Anyway, I'm a He-Man super fan. Are you a He-Man super fan? Is it fun to go back memory lane and play with your toys? Who else has the toys? Tweet at me. You can tweet at me here at Andy Signor and show me what your favorite He-Man toy was. Which one was it? I have so many of them here. Is it Beastman? Beastman was really just the best. He was such an awesome dude. This isn't his belt, though. This was a temporary belt I tied on when I was playing with him, and it has a gun. Ooh. But who was your favorite character? Tweet at me. Tell me. Are you excited for this series? This show ended sort of abruptly. There's definitely more that can be told, and if they, embrace the cheesiness a little bit, but really focus on a story, I think they can have a lot of fun with this show, and so I'm very, very, very excited. So good on Kevin. What an awesome thing. I hope he goes. 2 shows that I did with him, man, What's in the Box, man. What an awesome thing to bring, if they can bring that back. We did it on Screen Plus, and he's been loading that show up. If you guys haven't watched it, that was one of my favorite shows to do. We got to open up toys with Kevin, and he would always be surprised. Him and Jason, he had no idea what was in his box, and now through a licensing thing, I think that he's gotten the shows. Thankfully, they live somewhere for you guys to enjoy, and he's been loading them up on his channel. But how fun for him to go through some of these toys like I did. He'd be way more entertaining. But the other thing I wanted to say is, Man at Arms, that was the show it was based off of the character name and obviously the term of, an armory. But man, how awesome to see the Man at Arms crew, Matt Stagmar, all those guys at Baltimore Knife and Sword. I hope they can figure out some sort of collab and create the real Power Sword again, do it right for the Netflix release. That'd be so cool. Tweet it. I don't know if they're going to want to involve me. I still talk to the Baltimore crew. They're awesome. But my point is, connect those two because that would be an awesome thing to watch that happen and give one to Kevin, have him have a sword. I'm such a big fan of all these people. I love He-Man. This just gets me giddy as a nerd. So I'm so happy for all these people. They're all so amazing. So go support this. Watch it when it comes out on Netflix. Let's keep our eyes and ears open. Is it anime, though? That's the only weird little thing here. What do you think? Does that annoy you, anime fans? I'm not a huge anime fan, so it doesn't, but I have some friends who are, and they were just like, huh? TBD, are they going to somehow justify why they're calling it anime? Or is that just sort of Netflix now borrowing the style to sort of use the buzzword, and then that's kind of not cool. What do you guys think down below? Aside from that negative, I think it's pretty positive. Chime in with your thoughts of where you want to see this He-Man series go. What other reboots do you want to see happen? Thundercats, should that come back? Tell me down below, and we will discuss it there. Thanks so much for watching. I will be back with more videos this week, and thanks to all of you who got me to 100,000 subscribers. Woo! Let's keep going. Support my Kickstarter, please. Here it is. Have a good night, man.